How you guys doing? Welcome to another episode of the Serious Sarcasm Podcast. My name is Derosier. I'm your host, captain of the ship, uh, chauffeur, while I guide you through this crazy world that we live in. To give you another breakdown of the podcast, if you didn't listen to the episode before, or if you just now tuned in for the first time, I speak about serious topics, but in the serious topics that I speak of, I'm speaking in a sarcastic, funny manner. Just because the world is too crazy around us, so guess what? I'm gonna have to laugh somehow, and I'm gonna be the one to make us laugh. So might as well get to it. Ladies and gentlemen, first topic I'm gonna talk about is relationships and give you guys some dating advice. Listen to this audio real quick.
Y'all believe in women's intuition.
Hell yeah.
If you can feel that your man is cheating, why can't you tell when he's unhappy?
Message. All right, so the reason why I wanted to show that video specifically is because, and this goes for men and women and whatever you identify as in between. When you're dating somebody, right, it's not about your wants, your needs only. It's about that person's wants and needs as well. For example, fellas, if your girl wants to eat some ass, aka your ass, let her eat it.
Whoa.
If it turns her on, let it turn her on. Ladies, that also goes for you as well. Ladies, I'm not gonna sit here and try to be toxic and be like, yo, if your man wanna go fuck other girls, let him go fuck other girls. I'm not that guy to tell you that shit. That's not me. That's not who I am. However, I'll tell you this. If you have the intuition that your man may be cheating on you, then you should use that same intuition to tell when he's unhappy. This goes for men as well. You should be able to tell when your partner's unhappy. Me personally, any woman who's ever actually had a serious, I guess, involvement with me can tell you that I ask a bunch of questions, whether it's I want to know how they think, how they tick. I want to know their past. I want to know if they have a toxic ex that's probably lurking around waiting to see us out on a date, having the time of our lives, to come up and like, yo, why you ain't texting me back no more? I ain't trying to hear that shit. But the reason I play that video specifically is specifically for women. I understand that the dating world is not the greatest right now. I understand maybe you want a man that makes over $400K a year. Maybe you want a man who got a big dick. Maybe you want a man who goes to the gym all the time. Maybe you want a man who's an introvert who just stays home and watch anime all day and play video games so you know where he's at all times. Maybe you want a man to do this, that, and the third. If you want a man to do all that, that's cool. You're going to find that man sooner or later. However, are you willing to take responsibility to keep that man happy? Are you willing to take responsibility to do all that? You're not. Let's be real, you're not, because you care about your happiness. I learned in my dating history is no matter what the situation is, you can't force somebody to do something they don't want to do. Whether it's that whether that is love you correctly, whether that is appreciate you correctly, whether that's even not do anything to disrespect your relationship. And what I mean by disrespect the relationship, I mean that could be like texting a dude, sliding into somebody else's DMs, leaving heart eyes under a photo, or maybe it's even taking a selfie with Chris Brown holding your butt at a VIP meet and greet. The reason why I bring up Chris Brown in this situation, and it leads me right to my next topic, transition skills. Chris Brown, one of the greatest performers that has ever blessed this earth, one of the greatest, I think the greatest showman since Michael Jackson. I think personally, when it comes to this day and age of people who perform live, I'm not a Taylor Swift fan, but I see why her fans love her. I would put Chris Brown, Beyonce, Bruno Mars for sure. The Weeknd is up there. I guess I would say Taylor Swift not because of her dancing, I say more so her stage presence and how she commands her crowd. I'm not a fan of Taylor Swift. I don't really like her music. Her music is not for me. However, that's not for me to shit on her. But with all those people in that select group of people who can perform and just captivate a crowd and tell a story while they perform, Chris Brown is at probably the cream of the crop. With Chris Brown, man, we all know Chris Brown's history, whether it be the Rihanna incident, the multiple incidents or rumors, I should say, alleged rumors, I should say, with Karrueche or other women, the alleged fight with Frank Ocean. The list goes on and on with him. And I've always been the person to say this about Chris Brown is I've always been able to remove or separate the person from the art. A lot of people don't know how to do that. the reason why I bring that up specifically, and I'm not defending Chris Brown in this topic I'm about to bring up right now about him getting sued. I've noticed that we've been really selective over the years on who we separate what from. There's a lot of actors who are piece of shit human beings when they're not in front of the camera. Let's be real. One of the best Batman we ever watched was Christian Bale, and he was a piece of shit to people on movie sets. But we always forgived it because we were like, it's not that big of a deal. You know what I'm saying? He still got the Oscars. You know, he did a great job as the Batman, even though he's doing this voice.
Where is he?
But Chris Brown. Chris Brown has been sued twice in the past 7 days. Reason why he was sued, there was allegedly an altercation that happened backstage at one of his concerts. TMZ is reporting this. He was sued for $50 million because two gentlemen who were backstage at his concert alleged that Chris Brown and I believe it was Yella Beezy. Let me confirm. I believe it was Yella Beezy. Actually, it was Yella Beezy. Yella Beezy and their entourages basically jumped them, kicked their backs in, this, that, and the third, put hands, feet, and paws on them. And they're suing for $50 million. Obviously, you know, something like this happens backstage at a concert. People want to get a quick cash payday. Supposedly, the reason why this fight started is because they were backstage partying. Everything was cool. Everything was copacetic. And right when Chris Brown's getting ready to leave, somebody in Chris Brown's entourage allegedly yells out, "Hey, yo, Breezy, yo, you know you got beef with that dude, right?" Chris Brown goes, "Oh, bet." And one thing leads to another. Chris Brown's team and Yella Beezy's team allegedly put hands, feet, and paws on these two individuals. Chris Brown's getting sued $50 million for that. Not only is he getting sued $50 million, he also got an additional lawsuit handed to him for $15 million. The lawsuit for $15 million is actually coming from security from that specific venue because that security guard, during the alleged incident, suffered major injuries. How do I say this in a... You know what, fuck it. I'm just going to kick everybody's back in. I'm a very skeptical person. The reason I don't believe this shit for 1 second is if there was a fight that happened with Chris Brown, Yella Beezy, and a backstage at a major venue, we would see video of it by now. We probably would have saw the video before the lawsuit even came out. So the fact that we still haven't seen a video kind of gives me cause to pause. Also, with that being said, man, could you imagine Chris Brown in the fight doing backflips and shit?
He's a ninja.
Yo, Chris Brown. I could literally imagine Chris Brown on the table going like, "Oh, where we got beef?" Doing a flip off the table and just giving somebody the Rey Mysterio leg drop off the top rope type shit.
619.
But Chris Breezy, man, I hope everything turns out in your favor, bro. I wish I could have went to the concert when you were here in Florida, and here in Orlando. I didn't get a chance to, unfortunately. You know, daddy duties. I'd rather be a father first before I go out and have fun. But, man, Breezy, man, all power to you, man. I hope, I pray that you, you know, you see through this. I'm just gonna say this next time. Next time some shit like that happens, man, just, you know, stay out of it. Let your team beat their ass, and so you can stay out of the lawsuit. But on to other news. Speaking of beef and Chris Brown, and I want to talk about somebody that Chris Brown used to beef with, and that's none other than the Canadian bacon light skin himself, Mr. Drizzy Drake Graham. The reason I'm bringing up Drake is we all know the feud that Drake has been having with Kendrick over the past couple of months, and it really reached a boiling point late May, early June, with Drake dropping Family Matters, Kendrick dropping Not Like Us, Meet the Grams, all these diss tracks back and forth to each other over they basically diss each other 10 times in like what, a 72-hour span, I believe. Mm-hmm. And then Kendrick obviously gave the final, you know, knockout punch with Not Like Us, you know, basically the song of the summer. But Kendrick fans took it a step further. The reason why I say Kendrick's fans took it a step further, they made an online game that said Not Like Us. And basically the game is very similar to Kendrick in his music video of Not Like Us, basically hitting Drake pinata. And Drake fans decided to respond with their own game called Family Matters. To those who are probably watching a video, you see the screen right now, Family Matters, the game. The reason why this is funny is that even the play button is that Tupac ring that Drake supposedly bought for $1 million.
Oh wait, what? Hold
Which is hilarious. Attention to detail is amazing.
Oh, wow.
And the background of the game is literally Los Angeles. The attention to detail Drake fans have is amazing. It's crazy that they have that attention to detail, but they completely forgot the attention to detail when it comes to all the Kendrick disses. But anyways, I make music that pacify. I mean, you make music that pacify them, right? The reason why I bring this up is, I truly think Kendrick won this battle. And because Kendrick won this battle, that doesn't mean it's going to stop me from listening to Drake. Same thing, vice versa. If Drake would have won the battle, it doesn't stop me from listening to Kendrick. My issue is this is very similar to something I talked about in my previous episode with Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. If you on one side, you can't be on the other with people, which it's annoying. Like, I want to be able to listen to, I want to listen to, Humble, but at the same time, I could turn around and listen to, Teenage Fever. That's probably not the best song to quote from Drake to say that I want to listen to Teenage Fever. Terrible choice in song. Maybe I want to listen to In Too Deep. Maybe I want to listen to God's Plan. Whatever the case is. But with Kendrick and Drake fans, you guys have literally made it your personality that you're a Kendrick or a Drake fan, or a Drake stan, I should say, or Kendrick stan. You guys are the reason why this beef is the reason why I don't think we're ever going to see another hip-hop beef or even hip-hop competition like this. You guys are the reason why, in my personal opinion, I think J. Cole had dropped out of the beef. You guys are the reason why Drake is continually, in the eyes of many, still taking L's because you guys keep feeding and feeding and feeding and feeding the fat hippopotamus of Kendrick fans. Just leave it alone, bro. Drake won. Psych, I'm joking. Kendrick won. Drake lost. It is what it is. You guys don't have to make these video games. I will say this, though. The Drake game is pretty funny because they literally sampled or basically referenced, I should say, one of Drake's lines in the song Family Matters, where the thing is Kendrick is with his mouth open. Every time his mouth opens, you throw a Grammy in it, and that's how you score points. I think that's pretty hilarious to me personally. And it's just as funny as the Kendrick, hitting the pinata that looks like an owl.
That's good.
So, Drake fans, I want to give you guys a clap, a round of applause for creativity. Your man still lost, but it is what it is. Drake, I just want to say this to you, bro. If you do so happen to ever get the chance to watch this, and same thing with Kendrick, I want to say to you guys, thank you so much for giving us, and I don't mean us, I mean hip-hop. Thank you for giving hip-hop a beef that we're going to talk about for ages and ages, similar to Jay-Z and Nas, Big and Pac, Ice Cube and Common. Like, the list goes on and on with some of these great rap beef. LL Cool J and Cannabis. T.I., was it T.I. and Ludacris?
Yep.
T.I. and Ludacris. Like, you guys have given us a rap beef that we're going to talk about for years, and I just want to say I appreciate both of you gentlemen on that. To your fans, fuck both of y'all. To the fans, fuck both of the groups. Speaking of fans, this is going to be a terrible transition, but from two guys who have all the fans in the world to a movie that literally has zero fans. Let's talk about Tyler Perry's latest movie. It's called Divorce in the Black. The reason why I want to talk about this movie specifically, if you haven't watched this movie, it's on Amazon Prime, if I'm not mistaken. The movie Divorce in the Black follows Megan Good, who is one of our GOATs in black cinema. Megan Good is divorcing a gentleman who I forgot the gentleman's character's name, but the actor's name is Corey. Corey Hardrick, I believe his name is. Corey Hardrick is the actor that plays Megan Good's husband in this movie. So Corey Hardrick and Megan Good play husband and wife in this movie. They're going through a divorce, obviously. Let me give you the plot of the movie real quick. Fuck the plot. Let me just give you the opening scene in this movie. The opening scene takes place, Corey Hardrick's character, his brother dies, obviously before the movie starts. So the opening scene of the movie is the funeral. The pastor is at the front of the church giving his sermon, the eulogy, whatever you want to call it. The pastor just so happens to be Megan Good's father in the movie. So, the Corey's character's father-in-law. And the pastor's just going on and on about, wow, mothers need to, guide their sons better. And obviously there's a grieving mother in the crowd who's a little bit ratchet, listening to this. While she's listening to this, she stands up and basically, demonizes the pastor for talking to her in such a way. While she does that, she basically goes on a rant, and at the end of her rant, she tells her sons, which are 4 other boys, 4 other men in the crowd, tells them, "Hey, pick up my son. We're leaving with him." Her son's going, "Mom, are you serious?" And she goes, "Pick him up." And they go, "Okay, bet." Pick up the casket. Just so happens, the mother goes, I don't want them thinking I took anything from them because they paid for that casket. I didn't pay for that casket. They legit pick up this dead man out of the casket and carry him out the church. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't think I mentioned it at the beginning of the segment, but this movie is directed by none other than Tyler Perry. The reason why I wanted to talk about this movie is, I shut it off after that opening scene, by the way. The reason I want to talk about this movie is, this movie legit has a 0% rating at the time of this recording on Rotten Tomatoes. You know how bad of a movie you need to have a 0% rating on Rotten Tomatoes? Shit, Soul Plane doesn't have a 0% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. Let me think of some terrible movies. I grew up as the biggest Power Ranger fan. My first name is actually Jason, not Jay. My first name is actually Jason. My brothers and sisters, when I was born, were big Power Ranger fans. Guess what? The first Power Ranger name, Red Ranger name, was Jason. That Power Ranger movie is a terrible movie, and I still loved it as a kid. That movie is better than this shit that Tyler Perry decided to give us. What else is a terrible movie? I was gonna say Devil Wears Prada. Devil Wears Prada is actually a pretty good movie. I ain't gonna cap. Shout out to Meryl Streep and Anne Hathaway and Emily Blunt. You know how bad of a movie you need to have 0% rating on Rotten Tomatoes? Like, I was doing my research, and it's not that many movies that have 0% ratings. I'm gonna tell you guys another movie that has a close to 0% rating that's not as bad as this movie. If I'm not mistaken, it was National Lampoon Van Wilder. If you guys never seen Van Wilder, that's the movie where Ryan Reynolds, he basically plays a college dude that stays in college until he's like 35 years old, and he's throwing parties, having sex with college girls, blah, 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 blah.
You know, it's a true story.
It's a true story.
Yeah, about Burt Kreischer.
Why am I not surprised that's a true story? I thought it'd be a true story about Drake. Anyways, but even that movie's a terrible movie too, by the way. That movie doesn't have that bad of a Rotten Tomatoes rating as this movie. And then Tyler Perry, bro, all the audacity in the world to get interviewed about how bad this movie is, and you said that uppity black people are the people that don't like this movie. So you're saying that black people who probably have a lower, I guess, temperament and a lower intellect, and lower tolerance will actually like this movie? You know how fucking ridiculous you sound, my guy? You sound like the uppity black person. And it sounds like, and this pisses me off about Tyler Perry, I feel like the man has become complacent in his writing. Tyler Perry needs to take a page out of like a lot of people who become successful book and stop stretching yourself thin with writing some of these films. Just take a step back, hire better writers, hire other writers, and let them curate some of this art. Because with the power that you have, you're holding how do I explain it? But you're basically holding your demographic hostage. And what I mean by that is, bro, you have the power to put so many people in positions of success. Allow a female writer to write another thing. Allow other people to take charge, bro. This movie is terrible, bro. Like, it's literally terrible, dog. Like, I'd rather listen to Ice JJ Fish 100 times in a row than watch this movie ever again.
Oh, no.
I'd rather listen to Rebecca Black's Friday than watch this movie again. Matter of fact, you know what? I heard Ice Spice's new album, and that shit is terrible too. I'd rather listen to Ice Spice's album than watch this movie again. That's how bad this movie is, bro. Ugh, man.
Jay, it actually says that he does not hire outside writers. It's all him.
See, he doesn't hire outside writers. My point exactly. Like, you see what I'm saying? Jesus Christ, bro. Ugh. All right. I'm going to end the episode off on a funny note because Tyler Perry just pissed me off. I'm starting to get frustrated. I can feel myself sweating. I'm getting frustrated with Tyler Perry. As you know, just like the previous episode, it's going to be the long-standing segment of every episode. And that's going to be, bro, what you on?
I'm like, bro, what you on?
So for this week's Bro, What You On, we go to the amazing state of sunny, gunshine state of Florida. The reason why we're going to Florida, ladies and gentlemen, have you ever thought to yourself, like, man, what's the best way to do fraud? a PPP loan maybe, right, during COVID. Let me steal some social security numbers so I can get some more stimulus checks. Let me just steal some social security numbers and some credit card numbers so I can, rack up a check, you know what I'm saying, at the Gucci store, the Louis store. Have you ever thought of, and I think it's a great idea, have you ever thought of like, man, you know what? I should make a fake lottery ticket, because how would they ever know that it's a fake lottery ticket if all the numbers match and even the barcode matches? How would they ever know? And I bet you're wondering why I'm whispering on this AMSR type of vibe right now. It's because I'm building up the suspense. Could you imagine you sitting there with your wife or your husband, your girl, your side chick, your side nigga, and you go, yo, I'm sick of struggling. You sick of struggling too? Yeah, babe, I'm sick of struggling too. Yo, we should make a fake lottery ticket and go and pass it off as a real one. Yeah, babe, that's a great idea. How are we going to do that? You know what? Wait 1 second. Let me go ahead and type something up on the printer real quick. Let me go to Canva and make a fake lottery ticket. Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the state of Florida because a Florida couple was arrested for making a fake lottery ticket in hopes of tricking officials and for them to hand over a $1 million prize. Ladies and gentlemen, Kira Edners and her boyfriend Dakota Jones, grown-ass man named Dakota, just like Dak Prescott. Anyways, they had 2 lottery tickets that they rip horizontally just so they can piece them together at the same time to make it seem like it was a real lottery ticket so that officials can think that it was a real lottery ticket to hand them over $1 million jackpot. I've heard of fake it till you make it, but you know how stupid you got to be to know that they're going to check the serial numbers of the fucking scratch-offs that you guys just try to piece together? You know how freaking stupid you got to be? Obviously, they were arrested. And this is, like the article says, it's kind of like a made-for-TV moment. But CBS Florida reported on this story. But what makes me laugh about this is that the young woman, older woman I should say now, 36, and her boyfriend who's 32, they did this in March. They submitted the ticket in March. So in the state of Florida, when you win the lottery, you can't remain anonymous when you win the lottery. However, in the state of Florida, you can remain anonymous for up to 90 days while they process, your winnings before they give you the winnings. And they do your background check, all the other stuff, all the paperwork and all that stuff. And within that 90 days, they found out that these people were fucking trying to pull a fast one on them with this fake lottery ticket. I just want to read to y'all real quick how much time they're up for. So they were arrested and charged for forgery, alteration of a lottery ticket with the intent to defraud, passing a forged, altered state lottery ticket, and larceny, aka grand theft for over $100,000. And the worst part was, this is not an attempt. They actually charged them for the actual crime, not the attempted murder or you did murder. Like, no, they charged them for the actual crime, which are all felonies in the state of Florida. Fake it till you make it, I guess. And I guess they didn't make it this time. I would say to them, just take a page out of every, person's handbook who used to do credit card scams back in the day. And I say, go ahead and, steal some credit cards. I know people who were credit card scamming back in the day who driving Range Rovers now and G-Wagons. And they living the life. And you guys, look at your crusty milk. I don't like making fun of people's colors, but for these 2 white people, you guys are crusty milk, spoiled milk. Look at them. This dude looked like, what the worst part is? If you look at this mugshot, this dude looked like he was already sick of her shit before they went to jail. He's like, man.
She abuses him.
Yo, she beats his ass. She looked like she'd be putting a pause on him, for real. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Can I get a bro what you want button, please?
My bro, what you want?
Ladies and gentlemen, man, thank you so much for joining the Serious Sarcasm Podcast. My name is Derosier. If you do feel some type of way about any of the things I've said, please refer to the disclaimer at the beginning of the episode and also at the end of the episode. It's going to be the same disclaimer. It's my opinion. My opinion is not fact. That's the reason why it's an opinion. Also, with my opinion, is not the gospel truth. It's not the gospel. It's not the written testament or the old or new. But if you have an opinion about my opinion, guess what? You can kiss my ass. And if you don't have an opinion about my opinion, you can kiss my ass too. Please continue to like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate y'all listening. Appreciate y'all viewing. You guys have a good one.